Alright, I studied for 3 weeks for this test next period. I'm still terrified though. Alright. It's over. Finally. That was stressful. Oh man, what did I get? Stress. Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from very demanding circumstances. Whether it's from being interviewed for a new job or taking an exam, stress will screw you up one way or another. No matter how much you prepare physically, you will never prevail if you do not prepare mentally. Trust me when I say that. Whenever I'm taking an important exam or test, my heart rate rises, my breathing gets uneven, I sweat, and I can't think properly. I mean, don't get me wrong. Stress is completely normal. Don't feel like an idiot for being under pressure. It is completely normal. But, like many things, just because it is normal does not mean it's beneficial. One day, in 7th grade, I was taking this huge history exam that affected a large portion of our grades. I thought I was totally prepared for it. I had studied for a long time. And me being a horrible procrastinator, that really says something. I walked in, sat down, and our tests were handed to us. I looked down at the paper before me, and I froze. There were some questions that were on a completely different chapter than what I studied. Of course, my stress kicked into overdrive. I was in a cold sweat, my heart rate was sporadic, and I was severely overthinking every question. Okay, so if Columbus sailed in something 92, does that mean he arrived in something 92 or left in something 92? Or was he mid-voyage in something 92, or maybe it was 82? When did Vespucci sail? It must have been before, right? Maybe I could look for clues in his portrait of Columbus. Oh, wait, so Columbus had his hair sort of cut on his right, so he must have lost it from the natives. Wait, what does any of this have to do with when he left on his voyage? I somewhat managed to finish the test. I let go of everything, thinking I had accomplished something amazing. And as I am basking in my freedom from this hell, I hear a paper flip to my right, and then to my left. By instinct, I slowly flip my test over. There was another side! Panicked, I look at the clock. 20 minutes left. What? Is this some sort of sick trap, Mr. Sam? You left 5 lines of space empty on the first page. That is a universal sign that is the only page. Why have you done this to me? At this point, my heart is beating at 3,000 beats per minute, in tandem with my mind creating an electrical current reaching up to 3 meters from my body, generating from the sheer speed that my mind was processing. I am slashing my paper so fast with my pencil that the heat could have summoned you-know-who himself. Finally, as I make my final stroke of a line, the bell rings. My arm tore about 40 muscles in the session, and were in shock from the sudden pause of my actions. Some kids had even finished the test at the halfway mark, and for them, I have boundless respect. Even for the ones that make it hard for me to respect them. A few days pass and the teacher finally passes back our tests. Now, I hate getting tests back, for it is an extremely stressful experience for me. Other kids were all like, oh wow, I can't wait to get my test back, and I'm like, well, I certainly can. Anyways, the teacher hands my test to me, I look at his face, which is the first stage of my despair. My teacher has a look that just screams, you could have done better. Before I even look at the test, I am destroyed. I feel as if I had been punched in the lower abdomen with a full bladder and half-full large intestine in addition to a tummy ache. Basically, the worst feeling ever. I prepare myself for the worst, and then snap my head down towards the paper. C+. Now for me, a B and up is good. I know some might disagree, but that's just how my family and I see it. I don't feel destroyed, however I don't feel relieved either. I feel discomforted neutral. I left a sort of sick feeling in my stomach for the rest of the week. As you can see, stress really screwed me over in this exam as well as under preparation. Stress literally has no reason to keep on existing. I mean, it is relevant for life or death situations, but whatever. And stress doesn't screw you up on only the big things. No. But also screws with the little inconveniences, which are much more common, like conversations. You see, my mother has a lot of ties with major studios and major actors. She is, in fact, an actress herself that worked with them at one point. Proud of you, Ma. Which brings me to my next encounter with stress. One day, I was visiting my mom on set to see how things ran at the studio. While an intervention/lunch break was in progress, one of the main actors came up to me. Already, seeing him approach me was enough to shake me up. I mean, I have some pretty impressive social issues. He walked up in front of me and started to talk. Already, I start shaking, fearing that he would ask me a question or say something I couldn't hear. He then told me a joke. A joke. A joke, if you didn't know, is the worst thing that someone like me can encounter, because it sometimes isn't funny or isn't received well. This joke was one of the ones that depends on the receiver to understand that it is sarcastic. Oh, and something you should know. I am a terrible receiver. Stress meter dangerously high. So here I am in front of a major actor expected to receive a sarcastic joke. Not good. I try my best to laugh and act as if I received it. Of course, at this point, my posture is all weird and my muscles are spasming out in random places. Despite my efforts of concealing my mental breakdown, he noticed, and decided to leave me be, with a, "I hope we meet again." I calmed down a little bit after this and sat down to get my bearings. On a positive note, after this, me and my mom went home and she made some nice spaghetti. Delicious. Stress is number one at ruining any social interaction due to fear of rejection or failure. So just take some time to calm down. Take a deep breath and clear your mind. Try not to worry too much about the result and just focus on what you're doing present time. Just relax. With everything comes a way to defeat it, and stress is no exception. After this video, just sit on a chair or a bench or wherever you may be and just breathe.